Now, the COP process is really very important because it's the only place where every country can get together, have its voice heard, lay out a general game plan for action on climate change, and feel that that game plan is legitimate. Now, because every country is there and decisions are made by consensus, the process is glacial. People are constantly talking. It's easy to criticize it as just a blah, blah, blah festival. And to some degree it is. There are these all-night conversations about the placement of commas. And those are important because a country won't agree to the final text unless they're happy with the basic content of it. The consensus decision-making in these COPs helps explain why the whole process seems like it's failing, when in fact it's having a pretty big impact. And it seems like it's failing because the only way you get consensus is by getting everyone to agree to very bold things, but not have any individual country responsible.
In Paris, both the developed world and the developing world agreed that they would all do something to tackle climate change. That was a bit of a breakthrough, wasn't it?
That was a huge breakthrough. All countries agreed they had to do something. But part of what made that breakthrough possible was the expectation that the rich countries were also going to help the developing countries. They were going to help the developing countries initially with controlling emissions. And over time, they were going to help developing countries deal with the physical effects of climate change. The rich countries have failed to live up to that part of the bargain. And that's one of the big diplomatic risks at a conference like this, is that the poorer countries are going to arrive and say, why should we continue to participate when we don't see a benefit from this process? And they could take the ball and go home. That happened in 2009 in Copenhagen. It resulted in the formal process actually failing. And in 2009, that was actually a good thing because it opened up the space for new ideas. That's what produced the Paris Agreement. Right now, if we had a big diplomatic failure like that, the impact on the credibility of the Paris process, of this whole COP process that's lumbering on, the impact on the credibility would be very, very harmful.